Anyway, so today's video is my project pan update. It's coming a little bit later than usual. I usually do on the 1st of every month, but this time for some reason time just slipped by. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I'm doing a project pan update. There are a lot of updates, a lot of things coming in and out of the sphere. My social media will be in the description along with my drama channel, anything else you might need to find. And also I'll be commenting for the first hour of posting today's video. So let's just get into it. So I actually haven't been using cream products this month. For some reason, even though it's getting warmer, I'm using more powder products. Usually when it gets to summertime, I'm using nothing but skin tints and cream bronzers and cream blushes. This month I didn't use anything cream. So I have no updates on those. There's not even a point of me showing them to you because there is literally just no update. Okay, so last month, I'm having so much just not luck when it comes to primers. I put in the Kylie primer and it started pilling on me. And then recently I told you guys I was going to put in the Hourglass Veil primer because that's my next oldest one. And it started pilling on me as well. It looked like I put super glue on my, well, it looked like I put one of those like Elmer's glue on my face and it just kept on like pilling and it was gross. So I took it out because clearly it just wasn't working for my skincare routine. It wasn't even like, it didn't start pilling when I would put on makeup on top. It started pilling the moment it touched my skin. Like the moment I started spreading it around or tapping it in, it would like pill up on my fingers and get all like layery and weird and gunky. So I just took it out of my project pan. And so instead I'm putting in the Garlon primer. I have this like travel size. It's like a dewy primer with gold specks in it. It's supposed to be like pure gold concentrate. Anyway, I'm using this. It's not dewy, which is good because right now I don't need any more dew. This is a full face of powder and I am oily as hell because it's just really hot in the UK right now. We're going through a little bit of a heat wave. It's great, much better than the 5 weeks of rain that we had. So this doesn't really make your skin dewy, it just makes it more shiny, but not, it doesn't like hydrate your skin or plump your skin. It literally just adds a little bit of like a layer of shine because of the gold, and that's it. I've been really enjoying it. It doesn't really interfere with my skincare routine, it doesn't make me look greasy or oily. It just adds a little bit of some to my skin and my makeup. So I've been using this. I'm about halfway through and so far no issues. I've been really loving this one, but I also put in, just once this one is finished, I put in the Fenty one. This is the next one up after the Hourglass one, so I just thought I'd jump straight to this one. It's very annoying to use this though because I use such a hydrating skincare routine that adding another hydrating primer is so just unnecessary, but I'll try to get through it. I loved this primer, like I really do. I think it's super plumping and hydrating. But it's only really good if I do my skincare routine and then do my makeup hours later. Then yes, this is great. But if I do my skincare routine and then straight after do my makeup, I do not need this hydrating primer because I already put on face cream and serums and stuff like that. So I just feel like hydrating primers are something that I used to buy all the time because I thought I had really dry skin. But now that I've worked on my skincare routine, I really don't need the hydrating primers. So I'm trying to get through them. I am about, okay, so the line, I am here. So I'm not even like a fifth done, maybe a fifth. Okay, I think I'm like a fifth done. So this will take me a while to use up, but I'm trying my best. Okay, I love this primer though. It's like a more gel-like consistency. Kind of reminds me of like the Colourpop Pretty Fresh one. See, it's like a milky, like a dewy texture, and it just adds a nice plumping, hydrating, moisturizing experience. But if you have like already a very good hydrating skincare routine, you don't really need the hydrating primers to go with it. And like, this is hydration. I haven't set my face, well, I haven't touched up my face since doing my makeup, but it's only been a few hours and I look like this because we're on about 28 degrees right now. Celsius, not Fahrenheit, if anyone's like, that's freezing cold. We use different metrics over here. So for foundation, this has been a journey. So I finished my Glossier skin tint. Because the Milk skin tint is a pretty new product for me, I didn't want to put it into my project pan because like you guys know, I get hung up on really new products and then I forget to use my old ones and they expire, just like my Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation and a few other products. And then I have to throw them out. So I'm trying to go backwards to forwards. So I thought, oh, one of my oldest skin tints slash CC cream slash natural products is the It Cosmetics CC cream, which has an SPF 50. So I thought with, you know, the heat wave coming up, it would be nice to have something with an SPF on top of already applying SPF to my face. I think it'd just be nice to double up. I broke out, it broke me out. It wasn't fun. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure that it was that CC cream that did this to me. I was covered in like whiteheads and bumps. I had some here, which is why I have like this dry patch here right now. You can't really tell because it's all cleared up. Like I've managed to clear it up in a few days because I was just like piling on the acids and the exfoliators. I was really going hard on my skin because it was just like annoying me, it was frustrating me, it was painful. I had some here, as you can see, right here, just like a bunch of them, was great, it was fun, it was lovely. I had some like around my mouth, so I threw it out. This is why you don't buy a lot of makeup, or you go backwards to forwards in chronological order, because by the time you get to your old products, they're expired. That foundation was, I think, a few months over the expiry date. It was supposed to be 24 months. No, it's supposed to be 12 months and I had it for 18 or something like that. So it was expired, which is fantastic, amazing, incredible. It looked great on my skin while I was using it, and then it just broke me out. And I didn't change anything in my skincare routine and anything in my makeup routine other than that foundation. So it had to be the foundation. So that went out of my project pan, I guess. We're just like, you know, it's good to clear up your makeup drawers sometimes. So I'm glad I'm getting through the products and seeing what's working, what isn't, so I can throw stuff out. But it just sucks that I had to throw it out because it was expensive. But I did get it ages ago, so what did I expect? Truly and honestly, what did I expect? So instead of that, I was going to put in some kind of like next in line foundation, but I watched a video about something, and I think it was the Beauty News girls. They said if you have anything in a cushion, like a cushion foundation, cushion blush, cushion highlight, it's going to dry out very quickly, like to the point where sometimes you can't even finish a product before it dries up. And I recently bought this beauty, the Chantecaille foundation, for £120, and it came with 2 inserts. So one of these is £60 technically, because you're getting 0.42 fluid ounces in each insert. So each 0.42 fluid ounces is £60. I was not going to let this go to waste. So when they told me cushion foundations dry up, I said, okay, I'll use this and then I'll go in chronological order of, you know, whatever it is. So I'm using this foundation up. I should be done with this in maybe 3 months is what they said. You get like 3 months of using your cushion stuff and then you're done. So I'm just going to keep on using this and hope for the best. And then I won't open the other insert because it's like closed and out of oxygen and stuff. And then I'll just go through all my chronological stuff and then I'll come back to the second insert. But right now I'm using this purely out of necessity because I'm not letting £60 go to waste, okay? That is the tea right now. And then I found that my oldest foundation in my collection still hasn't expired. Really strange, but it's this Hourglass Vanish Stick foundation. We're back to it. I felt like I went through a phase of trying to finish this bad boy and then I just gave up completely because my skin looked awful. But what I'm doing right now is I use this to spot conceal, and it still looks awful, but I cover it up with a good foundation, so it doesn't look as awful. So so I have this much to use up, which is not a lot. But what I am doing is, for example, like these breakouts, I'll just go in and tap over them and then I'll try to blend it out. It is the most crusty looking foundation. Even when I just spot conceal, it looks crusty, musty and dusty. But when I apply this beautiful hydrating foundation on top, you can't even tell. But it actually manages to cover the spots because it's so high pigment. So that's the way I'm going to use this up, is by just spot concealing with it. And it still looks awful and it still infuriates me. I'm going to try different ways of trying to blend this out. I think a brush used to work really well with this. So I'll probably just use a brush on the spot concealing and then sponge for this. But that's what I'm going to use up. And I'm going to use the foundation up whether I like it or not. I'm going to use this up because it infuriates me that it's not expired yet. Like at this spot, can it just expire? Because I don't want it. Can it just expire? And like out of all the foundations that could have expired, it was all my favourite ones, like the ABH Luminous foundation. I used to really love that one. It expired. The It Cosmetics CC cream, it looks amazing. It expired. This piece of garbage, not expired. Anyway, then we have, of course, the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I'm still on this. It's created this like weird rim where like, it looks like there's like a layer of the concealer that's about to like break off. Anyway, I'm about this far into it since you guys last saw me. It doesn't seem like I used a lot, but I just feel like I always go through these really quickly because I use way too much and they're so emollient that you just pick up a lot. So I'm going to go through this probably pretty quickly and then I'm just going to go in with a different concealer. This looks amazing though. I love the way this works, the way this looks. It's great. You can tell how hot it is in here because I'm just getting more sweaty as this video goes on. Anyway, in my project pan I also had the Nabla loose setting powder, and right now that is just way too heavy for me. I feel like that powder is not finely milled enough, and if you're going through like a more natural makeup routine, very thick powder just looks really heavy and cakey. So I just took it out of my project pan and I might end up giving it to someone to use up. It's not my favorite powder of all time. I think it works fine, but if I have other powders I can use over it, I will. So I'll probably just give that one away to someone. It's pretty much brand new, like I've used maybe a fifth of it, so I'm probably just gonna give it to someone because I have so many loose powders and I'm not even that obsessed with them. So to use a powder that I'm like about, I don't know, I gave it a chance, I gave it a shot. I think I was using it for like 2 months and at that point I'm just like, get out of my face, okay? And now, I don't know if you guys saw my last video, it was a no buy. I am on a no buy. I'm not buying anything. I think this month is a good time for me to try many products that I have in my collection that I forgot about and see whether I want to keep them around or not, and see how much my collection gets cut down. And that Nabla powder is about to not make the cut into the next episode of the Angelika Olds show. So, you know, instead of that powder, I'm using my beloved Pat McGrath Labs. Powders don't expire. They do, but they don't, okay? Like, you have to really keep a powder around for like 20 years to smell it. So I'm just going in with this one. It's a brand new baby, but this, for the summertime, if you need a finely milled, not drying powder for your whole face that is luxurious, buy this one. It's an under eye setting powder, which means you're supposed to only use it under the eyes. That's why it's so tiny. It's 4 grams. It's literally the size of like not even the palm of my hand. Like, it is tiny, and it's so loosely pressed that if you dab into it, it just all puffs up. You lose a lot of product, but it is the best, most finely milled, most natural looking powder I've ever seen. If you need a touch up, let me just show this to you guys. Do you see how sweaty I look? Okay, you'd think with how sweaty I look that if I apply powder on top, it's going to cake up, but like, no. This powder for touch ups, let me just show it to you guys, but you can see how much like cakes up, I mean how much puffs up. But just look at this, wait. The blurring. I look like a new human. It's the most natural looking powder that just blurs beautifully. You're going to look blurred and stunning. And I use this to set my face when I'm doing my makeup. And then I use this for touch-ups because it still looks natural, but it looks blurred. Look at this. I have no pores. My pores don't exist with this powder, but it still keeps some of the dew, as you can see. Like, it doesn't completely mattify your face. It just looks really natural and like you're not sweating profusely, which I am sweating profusely right now, by the way, just in case you needed to know. So that's the powder I'm putting in. I've already made a bit of a dent, and I've only been using it for like less than a month. Like, it's already dipped on one side. So I'm going to go through this very quickly, and it's going to be out of my routine. I mean, it's going to be out of my collection. Why do I keep on saying routine instead of collection? This is just, it's a tragedy. Then the Charlotte Tilbury powder. Okay, so the issue is I didn't use up as much of this as I probably would have, because I bought the Charlotte Tilbury face palettes that I was trying out for the whole month. And there's a powder in there, so I was using that powder. But now that those are put away, as a new product, I'm putting them away. I'm being a good girl. I put them away to use old stuff. I'm back to using this one, and I've already hit pan on it. I use so much of this stuff, like, it's incredible. I use it under my eyes, I use it on my face, I use it everywhere that I don't use the translucent one. So we're gonna be done with this by next month. I can guarantee it, okay? And then I have another one of this and many other powders that we're gonna get through. My leg hurts. Ow. And then we have the Becca one. I use this a lot, but you can't see any progress. No progress can be seen. I don't know, it's like this formula that just doesn't show any progress. Yeah, you can't see like the embossing at all anymore. So I guess that's progress, but yeah, you can't really tell, so I'm just gonna ignore that one. Then we have a product that I told you guys I was going to use up this whole month. Well, use this whole month, and I did use it this whole month, and we've hit so much pan. Look at this. You can see like the cross hatching across the whole layer now. So if I keep on using this, I feel like by next month we should be done with it. I sure hope so, because I'm sick and tired of looking at this blush. It's amazing. I love using it, but like, I've had it for so long, and I've had it in my project pan for like a year. So I just want this to be done, but like, I think it's almost done. Okay. Then we have, for highlights, I have a bunch. Okay, so I'm trying to rotate through my Kaleidos highlights just to see which ones I like, which ones I don't like. I like all of them, just to be clear, but there's some that I use every day. So I put Star Surfer into my project pan right now. I'm just using up. I'm not really trying to hit pan on any of them. I am just kind of using them up. So they're in my regular makeup bag for every day just because I like using them, but I'm obsessed with the Space Age Prophecy one, which is the multi-chrome. I am obsessed with it. You can still see the embossing, like you can still see the design, but like right here is where I'm like really going hard on it. So I love both of these. I don't think I'm gonna hit pan on them anytime soon. Highlights are kind of difficult, but these are just the ones that I have in my routine right now. I took out the little Becca ones because I was getting bored of them. So I have these ones in. I've also been trying out the Revolution X Soph, and I'll have a little conversation with you guys in a minute that relates to this. So I'm not gonna hit pan on these ever. They're so huge, but I love them. I think it's an amazing product. I've been so critical of Revolution, and I've heard not many great things about them, but This highlight formula is magnificent, incredible. It feels high-end, it feels luxe, and it looks amazing on the skin. So if you guys want a dupe for Becca or Ofra, this is it. Mainly now with Ofra being controversial and Becca going out of business, this is the same formula. I have a hair just chilling. Anyway, so bad timing for Ofra to be problematic as hell, but my oldest products are from Becca. So they're the next in line to be used up, and I took them out of their packaging. So now they're here, and we're just gonna pretend they're not Ofra. Because like at this point, look, brands come out as problematic and we can denounce them and not buy from them anymore. But like if you already have the products, don't throw them away. Just use them, but don't buy any more. So I'm gonna use these products, but I'm just not gonna buy any more because they're problematic. I have 3 Benefit blushes that I've had for about 6 years. I have the Coralista, I have the Rocketeur, and I have the Dandelion. I don't know, because all the like names have wiped off now. I've used them a lot. So for example, Coralista has major pan on the side there. I used to love that one the most. And Dandelion has a little bit of pan, and I mean Rocketeur is a little bit flatter, so I'll keep on using these. Once I'm done with Milani, I'll try to rotate through those. This is a Mary Lou Minizer from The Balm. I had like a 3-pan little palette, and I basically took them out, depotted them, and put them in here. So I already used up the Mary Lou ages ago. And then the Cindy Lou I literally just threw away. It had a bit of hard panning on it. It just wasn't that great. I've had these for like 6 years. And then this one is the only one left, and I use this as a blush topper. So I put blush and then I put this on top, and it looks incredible. It's such a good formula, and I've hit huge pan on this ages ago, so I feel like I could really finish this off. It's pretty easy because it's so loosely pressed. And then obviously we have the products. I had the Kosas bronzer in my project pan a month ago, and I told you guys I was going to use it for a month and see how much I liked or disliked it. I think it's just way too fair for me right now. It's not very pigmented at all. It's like a baked formula. It's not pigmented, and it's also a very light shade. So for the summertime, like I know I don't tan, but even for me, that was very fair. So I just knew I wasn't going to be able to use it. So the next one in line is sadly this one. This is the Samantha March collaboration. They did all 3 of these. I just dug my nail into the highlight. This highlight has been through a lot today because I dropped a cap on it today, and so that it's like cracked in there and in there now. That's really good. We just hold that there. So this is all the Samantha March collaboration. This is a matte and shiny blush, matte and shiny bronzer, and then 2 shades of the highlight that you can either mix together or use separately. I really enjoy these products. The bronzer is a little, you know, it's very orange. I'm wearing it today and it looks fine once you blend it out, but the initial application is a little fussy. Like you have to keep on blending it, and it looks really orange, and sometimes it sticks to patches. You also can't, hear me out, I usually just dip my brush into like the whole pan, and I don't use them separately, but you can't really do that with these because the formula doesn't really mesh well together. So you have to go matte and then shiny, or just use the shiny or just use the matte, but you can't really just like dip all willy-nilly and then just go, because it's not going to blend properly, and it's very orange when you first apply it. So right now it looks fine because it's mixed with the blush, and I put powder on top, but it's a very orange bronzer. So I'm going to try and use it because it is one of my oldest, but if I stop enjoying it, I might just give it to someone, because I still have the packaging for all of these hidden away in my shelves. So if I ever need to give it to someone, I can just pop it back in its original packaging and give it to someone. So I'll try and use this one for the next month, and if I decide that it's just too orange for me, I will give it away. But right now I'm making it work because it is my next up. What's my next bronzer after this? Next powder bronzer? Maybe my Becca one? I really don't buy bronzers a lot, which makes this project pan difficult because, you know, Ofra's been problematic. If I knew, I would have just picked a different product, but I don't buy many bronzers. I have like maybe 5 bronzers overall. So I think my next one up would be Becca probably. So if I don't like this one, I'll just jump straight to the next one, and you'll see that next project pan. After I'm done with these blushes, which is not going to be anytime soon, I have this one just chilling here because I took them all out of the packaging. They're all in this pan. I like this blush. I think it's a nice shade and it's a nice formula, much easier to use than the bronzer. I use the matte, I add the shimmery on top. It looks fine, it looks nice, but I'm not using that right now properly. I'm using the Milani and these, so I probably won't get to this anytime soon. It's just in this palette, so out of convenience I use it every now and then. And then this is the highlight that I'm keeping in here because once again it's a magnetic pan, but I am mainly focusing on the Kaleidos, and the Soph is a huge dupe for this. The formula is pretty much identical. Well, the formula when you touch it feels a little bit different, but it looks exactly the same on the face. So that's what I wanted to bring up with the Ofra products. They're problematic and they're out of the packaging, and I'll try not to mention or link them. So if I'm wearing them on my face, I won't link them, but I do need to use them up because I still spent money on them, hard-earned money, so I'm not gonna throw them out. But I feel like the bronzer might be given away because it's just very orange. And yeah, that's that for that palette. But I'm mainly focusing on the Milani for this month and the Kaleidos, and that's that. But the bronzer is Ofra, which is not great. I used up my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and I poured the Kylie setting spray that I've been using for like a few months into that Charlotte Tilbury bottle because the Fenty bottle that I poured the Kylie into broke. So now that Kylie setting spray has been in the Kylie bottle, it has been in the Fenty bottle, and it has now been in the Charlotte Tilbury bottle. So I'll try to use that one up after the Fasali is done. So I have this much of the Fasali, and then I'll go straight to the Kylie again. I feel like whenever I put Kylie into any of the bottles, it just breaks. And I also have, for a long wearing aspect of things, I like to have a long wearing setting spray and then a hydrating setting spray. My long wearing for this month is, well, until I use it up, is the Milk Hydro Grip. I feel like, so this is the Grip Set and Refresh Spray. It's supposed to make your makeup stay on for longer and look less dry and patchy. So I use this, and on top of that I use this, and it works the same way as the Charlotte Tilbury, kind of. So those are my two for this month. My MAC paint pot. Can I be done with it? It just keeps on drying up and I keep on having to rehydrate it. Anyway, I'm like almost done. I've scraped it all to one side so you guys can see the progress. It's literally just what's here. This is all scraped and dry. This is basically all the product that I have left. I should be done with it by the end of the year. I sure hope so, because I'm sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of having to rehydrate it and make it work for me again. I haven't used the Super Shock shadows this month, my two of them. I haven't used them, so there's no progress. The mascara, it's on its last legs. Sometime this month it's going to end up in the empties bin because it's very dry now. So you're supposed to use the volume side and then the curl and length side. When I try to do that, it like crumbles onto my skin, which I know means that it's probably almost finished. Yeah, it's like it's not even wet around here, so I just feel like I'll be done with it sometime this month. So that's been a really good mascara. I love it. This is what it looks like. It just looks nice and thick. So I also finished the mini Charlotte Tilbury Very Victoria lipstick. So now I'm putting in the Pillow Talk. It's a small Pillow Talk. It's I'm about like this much into it. I should be done with it in a month or two. It took me about, I think, like 2 months to finish the mini of Very Victoria, and I did buy a big size Very Victoria that I'm slipping in just whenever I feel like wearing it because I think it's an amazing lipstick. I'm wearing it today, but it's like leftovers. Like this is just a little bit of lip gloss on top of like the leftovers of Very Victoria, but this is kind of where we're at with this one. So yeah, I'll be mainly focusing my efforts on the Pillow Talk, but I might slip the Very Victoria in just when I'm feeling like it. I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk hydrating balm a little bit more, but I'm still not like making any huge progress on it. And I think that's it for lip products. I haven't been using much at all. I've just been using those two on rotation. And for the whole month of May, I've been using the Metropolis palette by Natasha Denona and the Gold palette, but my parents very graciously gifted me these two, the Glam and the Bronze, and I've been loving these. So this is my first time wearing the Glam, and then yesterday I wore the Bronze, and I think I'll be keeping these in my routine just to see how they're going. I like to use new palettes for like a month before I decide if I love them or not, and I already love these, but I'm gonna keep on using them. So I'm wearing the Glam today. It's so good. Such a stunning palette. So the mattes blend wonderfully, like incredibly well. It was so easy, and I love these shades. I used blend just all over, and I deepened it up with crease and smoke. So crease and smoke, and I just love it. I love the tone. I like these kind of tones, like where it's like a cool toned brown. I think it looks incredible. Which shimmers did I use? I used the center eyelid one up here. I used the center eyelid one down here, just a tiny bit. I used the inner corner on my inner corner, and I used the outer eyelid on my outer eyelid. I actually followed the like instructions on here. Anyway, I love this palette so much. I think it's just going to be such an everyday staple for me. I love that you can pop these out. I feel like if I'm ever going to be traveling, I already thought everything through, don't worry guys. I'm going to be mixing and matching the Glam and Bronze just so I can have one palette with both warm tones and cool tones, so I have everything I need. So this is the Bronze palette. I wore it yesterday and it looked exquisite, if I may say so myself. I used Ridge, I used Sundown, Suntan, and then Magma and Deep Dive as my eyeliner. Deep Dive is this one. This is Magma. And then I used True Copper on my eyelid along with Silk, I think. And then I just used my face highlighter as my inner corner because none of these are light enough for my inner corner, which is fine. I think if I ever go on holiday or something, I might just pop out half of these and then half of these, and then switch them out a little bit. So I have both cool tone matte and warm tone matte, and then cool toned shimmers and warm tone shimmers for any looks. I feel like you don't need all of these every day, like all of these shimmers. So I definitely could take out some, keep like these 4 mattes, and then like a few shimmers, and then just keep a few of these mattes, a few of these shimmers, and you can really mix and match these because of the popping out mechanism. You can have like a cool toned and warm toned palette all in one go without having to bring both. So I love these palettes. I think they're great. They both blend super well, like really good quality, and I haven't felt any duds yet. And I tried to use as many mattes as possible in my first few looks, and I haven't had any duds yet. Love these palettes, so good. So these are going to be in for the month, but I never really finish eyeshadow palettes because if you do, you have a lot of dedication and determination. And I think that is it for today's project plan. I'm making a lot of progress. I'm trying to get rid of products even when they're by problematic brands, so we just won't mention that for now. Like I said, my project plan isn't necessary for me to actually finish products. It's more so for me to try products and see what I want to keep and get rid of. And there are a few things I'm thinking of getting rid of, like this Ofra bronzer. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time I think of something to do. So hit that bell, be notified when that's happening. Social media links and the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.